What's going on, guys? Beast Mode Smooth back with another video. You know what it is. All right, so today we're going to be reviewing a video from a young lady refuting some points from Coach Greg Adams. The original video is called Don't Date Single Mothers. 2 reasons. So apparently she's going to be reviewing, I guess, the reasons why you should do it as a man. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get right into this video. So here we go.
Now, if you want to be a player and that's your thing, you know, knock yourself out, you know, go ahead and watch these guys so they can teach you how to get more women to be repelled. Now, I can't teach.
So right off the bat, shame, insult, guilt need to be right. Just shaming men for having options, but let's go ahead and continue.
You how to be a man, homie. But I can teach you how to have a good character and be more attractive to women. That's all I can do. I'm a woman. I know what women want. All right. And most of the time, they don't want no dusty ass dude that's out here trying to be a player because he listened to some dudes on YouTube. OK, so I'm not sitting here trying to dog these guys out. You know, they're great in their own way, and they are for a specific type of man who wants to basically have control over women. A lot of men want control over women, and there are women out there that
no, a lot of men want control of their own lives. Men want to be in the best possible situation for their future, for the best outcome. That's what men are saying today. But let's continue.
That you just can't control. You know why? Because they don't want to be your slave. You know what I mean? They're human beings. They're not interested in you controlling them. Okay? So those are the women I'm going to try to get you to attract. Now, of course, I'm a new single mom. I have a 3-year-old. So, of course, I'm going to have some say in this clip right here.
Gentlemen, top 2 reasons why you don't date single mothers.
Now, I've made my own clips about single mothers, and I had a lot of people mad.
Yeah, but the real question is, why are you a single mother? Why weren't you able to keep a man after sex? That is the question, right? Women can give up sex, but can they keep a man after sex? And why did he leave you after giving birth? But let's go ahead and continue. Let's see what else she has to say.
At me about a single mother clip I made on TikTok telling women, hey, it's your responsibility to teach your sons how to respect women. And if your sons are grown and they're out here disrespecting women and not taking care of their kids, I want to know what you did as a single mother that has them out here thinking that that type of crap is okay. Women with grown sons, your son's behavior is a reflection of you as a mother. Did you enable him? What were you teaching him that has him out here disrespecting women and abandoning his children? Now, he gave 2 reasons why you shouldn't date single mothers. And let me just say, both of them are bullshit. Okay? If you're dealing with the right woman. A woman who has a good character didn't just suddenly stop having a good character when she had children. We don't become incompetent simply because we dated a Dusty who decided to abandon us with children. We may have made a mistake because this Dusty may have been fronting or something, or we may have just banked on a dude's potential. But for the most part, even if we've made a poor choice in man, it doesn't always mean that we're bad parents.
When you make poor choices in life, there's consequences to that. Your poor choices don't get swept under the rug just because you made a poor choice. And if a man is simply saying, hey, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to be in a relationship with a single mother, or I don't want to deal with raising a kid that's not mine, he should ultimately have that choice. He shouldn't be shamed for that simple reason. But let's go ahead and continue. Let's see what else she has to say.
Friend and wife is a different role from mother. It's 2 different things. So if I'm a shitty girlfriend, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'll be a bad mother. If I'm a good wife, it doesn't mean that I would be a good mother. It's 2 different things. Now, here's what I try to get men to understand. There are 2 types of single mothers in this world. There are high-end single mothers, and there are ghetto, low-energy baby mamas. You need to be able to know the difference. If you are choosing single mothers today and you continuously keep having negative experiences with these women, it's because of these women's character, not the fact that they have children. Their children have nothing to do with what kind of woman that they are. You would think that children would create a better, outcome for for women. Like,
unfortunately, the child has everything to do with her character because she picked a guy that was a Ray Ray and Pookie. And that is the reason why she's a single mother. Her having a kid is the outcome of her poor decision. And a man, again, shouldn't have to deal with that if he chooses not to. It's very, very simple. But let's continue.
they would be better because we have to be more responsible. We have to do the damn thing, especially if we're alone. So we got to go out there and do what we're supposed to do. We can't be messing around. So you would think being a mother would change some of these women who have bad characters. But I'm here to inform you fellas, that's not the case at all.
So, all right, let's get into it. Reason number one, most time they raise some badass kids, all right? Most of them kids got bad habits. They bad in school. They got bad grades. They ain't never gonna be done.
Number one, my son is almost 3 and he says, please, thank you, excuse me, and I'm sorry, okay, at 3. So it's about who this woman is and what she teaches her children. Like I said, just because a woman is single doesn't mean she doesn't know how to parent or discipline her children. Some women got it confused. Some women think spankings discipline their children. Some women have so many different ways that they try to control their kids. If they don't know how to control their kids, there's definitely something going on with them. They don't know how to.
I mean, the stats show that kids that are in jail, unfortunately, typically speaking, were raised by a single mother. You have a higher chance of going to jail being raised by a single mother than you do by both parents, or even a single father for that matter. So the stats show it in the numbers itself. Just because you have an anomaly where you're saying, you know, you're raising a great kid that's saying please and thank you, okay, but let's see where he's going to be in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years. Is he going to rebel? Is he going to lash out because ultimately he is in a compromising situation, which is having only one parent in the household? But let's go ahead and continue. Let's see what else she has to say.
So yeah, look at a woman and decipher whether or not she can take care of her children. That lets you know what kind of woman she is and whether you can deal with her or not. It is very much a determining factor how a woman takes care of her kids, okay? Pay attention to that, all right? But for the most part, if you're dealing with a decent woman, she hasn't just suddenly thrown parenting out the window simply because some man isn't around. I've taken child development classes as well as parenting classes. I took them in high school and in college, and I encourage women to take them all of the time. For the record, I have a group for single moms on Facebook. It's called Black Single Moms We Give You Life, and in there I get a lot of information about moms, and let me tell you, there are good moms in there. I know a ton of good moms, and for the most part, most of those single mothers have been divorced. I do want to continue to keep saying that because a lot of people keep thinking that single mothers never got married or we are promiscuous or something like that. No, most of those women are divorced, and these men have abandoned their children now that they have found another woman to be involved with. Okay, that's happening with a lot of women. I'm not saying that's all women. I'm just saying please factor in that a lot of single mothers are divorced, all right, and these men just completely abandon their children.
What I find is majority of fathers want to be there for their children, but they can't deal with the mother's nagginess, annoyingness, the bickering, the going back and forth. And again, men will just simply pull out and just start a new life, which is unfortunate. But let's continue.
Do a lot of single mothers have bad kids? Yes, because they're juggling a lot. 9 times out of 10, they're working so much they're not with their kids. But you have women like me who are stay-at-home moms. I watch my son all the time. I'm always going to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm an entrepreneur. I have several businesses. I can do that. But there are women out there who have to go to work and they leave their kids alone often. So, you know, an idle mind is a devil's playground. So these kids are out here just doing God knows what with no kind of guidance. Single means one, not really relationship status. You understand what I'm saying? I think people think single meaning like who they're involved with. No, single just means one. Okay, so it just means one parent. So I'm a single parent. But trust me, there are married women out there who struggle with parenting. Okay, so just because a man is there or isn't there has nothing to do with it. The way that men treat women has to do with what they saw women either put up with or not put up with. If their mothers put up with cheating husbands and lying and abuse, usually that's what these guys end up doing. If their mothers were single, most of these men end up juggling women. They don't necessarily keep a solid relationship.
And the reason number 2 that you don't date single mothers is because them kids ain't gonna leave anyway. They codependent as hell. They ain't leaving the house. You marry a single mother, you date a single mother, that kid gonna be there until 15, 20, 30 years old. That kid gonna be there. You gotta not date single mothers.
Number 2, I left the nest at 18. This is something I'm going to be teaching my son. Once you get 18, you either need to try to get your own place or you need to be going to college and living on campus. Not just sitting up in your mama's house, okay? That's not going to happen. I don't know what mama is comfortable with that. Oh, wait a minute. Let me give you an example. Last year I dated this guy, known him since 7th grade. Me and him been dating on and off since then, all right? I'm 40 years old. He's like, I don't know, 39 maybe, 38. Because he's a year behind me. This man still lives with his mom in the same place he was living when we were teenagers. And I try.
Okay, so if you're this high value woman that can get any man, why are you dealing with a 40-year-old living at home? Get a doctor, get a lawyer, get a 6-figure high value guy, right? If you're so high value, why are we even discussing a 40-year-old living at home? Get you a lawyer, get a high value man, and sail off into the sunset. Like, you know what I mean? So the fact that you're talking about a 40-year-old guy living at home and complaining about that leads me to believe that's all you can get. Because if you could get more, you would not be putting up with less. But let's go ahead and continue.
I tried so hard to get this man to come move out with me in California, but he wanted to stay in DC at his mama's house. We didn't get married last year like we were supposed to. You know why? Because he wouldn't let go of his mama. Now keep in mind, he grew up with both of his parents. His father passed away in his 20s. His older brother just got out of prison for murder. He himself went to the military and toured twice. Both his parents still live with his mama. So it has nothing to do with single mothers. It's just this guy and his own issues and what his mother puts up with. A woman can be married and still put up with nonsense from their kids or their husbands. It has nothing to do with a relationship status. Being single is separate from being a mother. So what I think you guys should start calling women is solo mom. I just want you to understand that for the most part, most single mothers are out here doing their thing because we don't have a choice. So we got to go out here and we got to work. We got to do our own.
No, you do have a choice. Don't deal with Ray Rays and Pookies. Deal with high value men and put yourself in scenarios where you do not end up being a single mom, which would not negatively impact the child long term.
We gotta clean, we gotta cook, we got things that we need to do as a woman. We don't have a choice, but for the most part we definitely want to have adult time with a man. Okay, know the difference between a high-end single mother who has a career, who has her own money, who's a decent person, has a good character, has a good relationship with God, versus these ghetto baby mamas that y'all be running into all of the time. They're just ratchet even if they didn't have kids, okay? If you have any questions, please feel free to put them inside of my comment section below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button.
All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and end this video. You know, shame, insult, guilt need to be right. You know, shaming men, talking about 40-year-old men living at home. All right, cool. If they're 40-year-old men living at home, again, get yourself a high-value man if you can get one. And again, leads me to believe she can get one, or else she wouldn't be complaining about them. Your actions have consequences, good or bad, and you being a single mother, I mean, it is what it is. You know, again, men don't want to deal with your problems. Men don't want to deal with your Ray Ray and Pookie boyfriends and ultimately be caught up in the mix of, domestic, disagreements or whatever the situation is. They can choose to deal with a single, young, hot woman that is ultimately ready to have a family with that individual, right? Ready to have a family with that man. Be able to discipline your own children without limitations, because if you're a man and you're a stepfather, there's going to be limitations on you. There's going to be limitations on how you discipline the children. There's going to be limitations on what you can say to the child, what you can't say. And frankly, if you guys break up, you and the mother, then she can just pull the child from you, right? She can just get up and leave. And ultimately that relationship that you've built with your, step child is just nullified at that point. And you're dealing with more of the risk financially because, you're shelling out money and there's no guarantee that she's going to stay, right? There's no guarantee that the relationship that you have with that step child is going to live on beyond your relationship with that mother, with that single mother. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.